Hello, mic check. Mic check one. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is, as you know it, Samantha. So this week we are actually going to learn about something called inquiry-based learning. So inquiry-based learning, what is it? The way to understand is to actually analyze a quote. The quote says that, "Tell me and I will forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and I will understand." That's basically what inquiry-based learning is. It's when a student is involved in the actual process of learning rather than sitting down passively and listening to the teacher. So this inquiry-based learning actually comes from something that we've done all our lives but we don't really know. Think about it. From when you're a very young age, you probably asked a lot of questions to your parents. Why is the sky blue? Why is the grass green? You inquire so that you may find out about certain things. It is natural for us to continuously want to ask questions because it's only through this question which leads to thinking, then leads to meaning. And meaning is how we learn. Generally, most of us grow up with the traditional method. What is a traditional method, you ask? You sit in your chair, you listen, you read the textbook, and that's basically the end of it. Not only that, but teachers are the all authority. They are the one who tell you what to do. They are the one to tell you which steps to take. They are the one to tell you what to read. This is very different to inquiry-based learning. Inquiry-based learning is basically the opposite. This is a type of learning style whereby students are completely involved in their learning, and the teacher instead acts as a guide. Inquiry-based learning is based on the constructivism theory, in which students construct their knowledge through experience and the adding on from previous knowledge. Constructivists believe that students learn best when they ask questions. So they ask like, why is this the case, or why did this happen, and then after that they must investigate, and from their investigation they should start to develop their own knowledge, and the knowledge identified is then discussed with a group of friends, reflect on the experiences of themselves and other people, and then from there decide which one is good, which one is bad, which one is neutral, or which one to keep and which one to let go. As you can see from this, learning is not a teacher-directed activity whatsoever. In fact, students are learning the skills to synthesize, to analyze, and to evaluate. So, what is the teacher's role in inquiry-based learning? Well, simply said, as mentioned earlier, they are facilitator, but not only that, they should try to be an expert on the subject they are planning, while at the same time be very careful in the planning of their lessons. The reason for this is because at one point the student will need guidance. When the student go through false information or has experiences that needs to be explained, a teacher must be an expert enough in the subject where they can help guide the student to the correct path. It is important when teachers do plan their lessons that it's around open-ended questions and also activities that will engage the student in exploring and also learning. So how would a general class look like? Well, first of all, it will start with open-ended questions. This can come from both the teacher and the students. Regardless of whoever it comes from, it must be open-ended. There must not only be one question. After that, the students are given the opportunity to investigate the question. So they can do it by many means. They can do it using technology, their phones. They can use it by going to the library so that they may find an answer related to this open-ended question. After that, when the students are done, they will come forward and present their findings. They may present their findings individually or as a group. Regardless, it is important that they do, because here is where experiences are shared and students are able to learn from one from another and give different perspectives on what they have explored. Here, a teacher can also come in to correct certain beliefs that they know for a fact is wrong. That's why it's important for teachers to be expert on the subjects. And then lastly, the student would reflect. They will hear other people's opinion, they will have their own experiences, and they will also have their own prior experiences, prior knowledge. So from then they will bring all this together to find a conclusive answer or conclusive answers. Of course, it's important to note that these are the general steps that classroom might take when they are doing inquiry based learning. However, there may be different or even more specific parts to it. Now, many different classes would obviously have students of different skills, of different learning styles, of different many things, right? Inquiry based learning actually has 3 levels in which a teacher can actually apply in their class. The first level is called the structured level. It's pretty obvious by the name, it's extremely structured. The teacher starts by giving the question, and then after that the teacher gives the students step-by-step ways to find the answer or explore, and then after that the teacher would check through their answers to see what they have done, whether it's correct or wrong. It may not necessarily be the case, the students may have different answers, but in general the teacher is more strict in this level. Now, the second level of inquiry is called the guided level. So again, very similar to the name, the teacher still gives the question, but in this case it's slightly more open, and instead of giving the students step-by-step ways to do it, the teacher lets them do as they please with his or her guidance. And then the last level, or the third level, it's the open level. Now, the open level, again, it's very similar to the name. Generally, the teacher won't be the one giving questions. The students will be the one giving questions, and then after that the students will investigate, and all the teacher does here is to help when help is needed. Now, it's important to note that teachers can actually have more than one level happening in a classroom at one time. So for example, a teacher may start with guided but end with open. It really depends on the skills of the students in the class, and whether or not the skills are very verifying in the class. From there, the teacher can decide which levels he wants to use in class. And that's basically it for inquiry based learning.
Hey guys, today I'm going to share you the 3 links of the video. Now the first one is Empowering Students, the 5E Model Explained by Lesley University. Now this model is based on the concept of constructivism, but as inquiry-based learning is also based on constructivism, you can use this model in your classroom. Now with this article, it explains the theoretical foundation, the 5E model itself, which is engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate, and also the application of its effectiveness. This is a really good model to follow if you want to have inquiry-based learning in your classroom. Now, the second article is 8 exceptional inquiry-based learning activities students will love. The reason why I chose this particular article is because A, it's very specific, and B, I believe that this article touches on things that teachers generally don't touch. For example, the environment, our plastic oceans, or even the internet and social ills, for example, the true cost of digital piracy. I think the activities here are really out of the box and really interesting for any teacher who wants to consider having inquiry-based learning and interesting activities in the classroom. Now for the last one is classroom management and inquiry-based learning, finding the balance. Now, as mentioned in the video, inquiry-based learning is very different from the traditional way of learning. Therefore, the classroom management of the traditional way of learning is also very different when it comes to inquiry-based learning. This article goes into specific of how you can manage your classroom in an inquiry-based learning setting. Well, that's it for the links, guys.
Well, that's it for my video, guys. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and like the video. I'll see you next week. Bye!